women don't really know what they want. They really don't, because they'll say one thing but then they do another. But that's human nature. I think the toughest thing about being a human is just not really being aware of what your real what you actually want, and like kind of coming out to your own conclusions about reality and yourself. You think you understand yourself 100%. You don't know who the fuck you are. You don't know who you are. And if you never actually did any digging to think this stuff through, then you definitely don't know who the fuck you are. Like you're being pimped by yourself. So with that being said, this is what women are actually attracted to, what women actually want. Not like
rough.
They don't want the nice guy. They don't want necessarily even like this they don't want a wuss. They don't want the nice guy. They don't want the guy that is not dangerous in any way.
They do want you to be dangerous. That's 100% true. But you can control right? Danger. It's under control.
Yeah.
They've actually done studies. I'll see if I can link it below after. But they've done studies where they've found that women find men with the traits, toxic masculinity traits, which include things like, if you don't know, toxic masculinity is the idea that being stoic, which means not showing a lot of emotion, being in control of your emotions, that's bad for everyone. It's bad for men and it's bad for women. Being dominant, bad for men, bad for women. It's toxic. It's ruining society, having these men that aren't afraid and that are in control of their emotions and that are disciplined, that are capable of getting things done, that know what they want. This is bad. This is bad. And you need to stop being that way. But they've done studies where they found women are more attracted to those men. And if you just look around you, like which guys are getting laid, the ones that are dominant, that are in control of their emotions, that are leaders, the ones that make fun of women, all that kind of stuff, or the ones that are super polite, super respectful. They're always apologizing. Oh, I'm sorry if I offended you with my privilege, with my male privilege. I'm going to be in solidarity for your period, and I'm going to wear a tampon too of my butthole. The guys like that, which one do you think gets laid more? So in this video, we're going to teach you how to be toxic in a way that attracts women, and in a way it's not in a way that's evil or manipulative or bad for women, but in a way that embraces the natural polarity between men and women.
Yo, bitch, I got some buzzers clawing on my fucking stomach.
A spot just opened up for my Chicago bootcamp, hosted on Cinco de Mayo. 3 days going out and approaching beautiful women, May 4th through the 6th. If you are interested in filling the spot, text me Chicago to 702-841-9909. Payment plans are available. So be in your own world. So I've had so many clients where I'll tell them to do something or be a certain way, and what they'll end up doing is that they'll say first thing, well, what will people think about me? What do people think about me if I do this thing? Or what if I start taking this action that you're telling me to do? People are going to start worrying or this or that. And girls want a guy with autonomy. Like, so if you're worrying what your parents think, like about some thing, like, so you have to hide your bank balance because apparently your parents are still in your money for whatever reason. If you're still living with your parents, or let's say like you decide that you want to, like, so I painted my two middle fingers. Like, I don't know why. I don't know why I continue doing it. And then every time he keeps telling me like why, and everybody else keeps asking me why, I'm like, because I think it's dope. And you know what's funny? Everybody got kind of used to it and just allows me to do what the hell I want. You guys like, so like all my friends and everybody who meets me in person allows me to do these things. But on the internet, everybody comes through the fucking computer screen to be like, oh no, that's gay for you to do that. It's gay for you to do this. And I'm like, no, that's gay for you to do it. I do what the fuck I want. You know, that's the difference between like that's that toxic masculinity.
Like having sex with men. No, it's only gay if you do it.
No, it's basically, it's like you're not allowed to do it, but I am. And like that's the trait you have to
being
take
at
on.
The cause, not the effect of your reality.
I get it. I choose what's cool, not you. Like, not the girl. The girl's not gonna be like, oh, you look so dumb in that outfit. Be like, okay. Like, it's not her to decide if I'm cool. It's me, it's you. It's like you decide if you're valuable, you decide something's cool. It's not her. She wants the guy that decides that kind of stuff for her. It's a popular kid that makes everybody else around him like try to copy his style or copy his way of being or his things he does. Is it cool for you to go out and talk to girls? Cool. Then it's cool for it to be the case. You don't have to be like afraid of people knowing about that shit because you don't give a fuck.
Yeah, the very fact that you're worried about, and if you have these thoughts, you probably do. Most people watching this probably do. Like, oh, approaching girls isn't normal. It's creepy. It's weird. It's all these things. Those aren't your own fucking thoughts. Those are thoughts that society put onto you and that you decided to accept. You've accepted other people. You've given society power over you, over your own reality. You haven't gotten that because you approached 1,000 women and they all thought it was creepy. Unless you're really fucking creepy, that would never happen. You'd start having successes. You'd have women start saying, thank you for approaching me. I wish other guys, it seems to happen a lot with Latina women, especially. They'll be like, since I've been in America, like all the guys here are pussies. I've heard shit like that. Like, thank you for being more assertive. Thank you for being a real man. Like, are you even you're not acting like other white guys because they're usually bitches. I've heard things like that, and it's because they've given up autonomy over their reality to social conditioning. Social conditioning. Do you really think it wants you as an individual to be strong, to be in control, to be someone who's powerful? That doesn't benefit society as a whole. It doesn't make you a good consumer. It doesn't make you someone who's going to be able to work a 9 to 5 because you're going to be like us and have to have your own business. You're not going to tolerate that. So it's not that there's an agenda making this happen. It's just society naturally became that way because it functions best when it makes individuals weak, when it makes them look to others for permission. Because if everyone's doing their own thing, it's too anarchy. Well, right? It's anarchy.
That needs less leaders than ever before.
If everyone was approaching like we do, the dating scene would be fucked. It couldn't be that way.
No.
But luckily, 99% of guys, they believe what society tells them.
Yeah, thank God.
They just don't make their own decisions. And therefore, when there's 1% like us, they have tons of opportunity.
Yeah. It's not everybody can win, which actually takes me to the next point. Understanding your own value. A girl doesn't want a guy at or below her in value. She wants a guy that's above her in value. So if you're the guy who is trying to supplicate to get a girl or is chasing down a girl to date him, who is she doesn't want the guy that supplicates to her. She wants the guy that she could feel like. So you're the one that dictates your value, not her. And that's something that like a lot of guys don't understand. So you dictate if you're sexy. You dictate if you're out of her league. You dictate if you're the one who should be getting chased. It's all you. You tell girls when you're sexy. It's not that you decide if you're sexy, and you do that by not being afraid of it. Like, have you ever called yourself a badass? Have you ever like told a person you're a bad motherfucker? Have you ever
told 100 times a day?
Dude, I tell girls all the time I'm a bad motherfucker. Like, I'm like, dude, I'm
and also that you're bad news. That one.
Yeah, tell a girl
you shouldn't date a guy like me.
That's the best one though. But it's like it's like the fact that I believe in myself. I'm not just saying that either. It's like I believe in myself, and you have to believe in yourself before a girl does. So when you are putting yourself below her in value and thoughts and this or that, when you start chasing her. It's like you're immediately, it's like, have you ever chased a girl and then like the second you start chasing the girl or all of a sudden you say this girl's special, then you lose her immediately. It happens all the fucking times because you put yourself below her in value. Like you're above her in value. That's the truth. So,
or you could say equal. You could be a nice.
Yeah. No. You're not equal. You're not equal. Not if you're going to date this girl.
I mean, imagine if
if she's average.
Imagine if I approach a 10 and I'm, well, it'll be hard to imagine, but I'll try to imagine you're a hot girl. If I approach you and I'm like, hi, oh man, she's way out of my league, and I'm looking away and I am supplicative. If you have those thoughts, they're going to manifest in your actions. You're going to act like a bitch. You're not going to be able to hold eye contact. You're not going to be able to speak with your vocal cords literally constrict. I can hear the difference. Like I've had times when I was really stressed. Your vocal cords literally constrict, and you can't speak with as much power.
This is such a liberal response. This is such a liberal response.
Well,
I know you are, but I'm just giving you shit.
Like every year I get a little less.
Oh, here, have you ever seen the green line test?
What's that?
So it's like whenever they show a picture of like two couples leaning, like who are like dating each other, one's always leaning into the other, and the other one's like standing straight up.
Yeah.
Like, are you ever the guy when you're dating a girl who's like the girl's like hugging you, looking up at you like your daddy?
Oh,
and then you like do a sideways hug with her.
Never. I'm
like
always
the
that
camera.
Yeah, for sure.
Like that's always the way that it should be. Like it's like if you have a healthy relationship, the guy is usually the chased one. It's like it's not when if you flip the roles though, and the guy's chasing the girl, it's a dysfunctional relationship oftentimes.
Yeah, so you're going back to the previous point where I was saying we could say it's equal.
That's you move past that.
Yeah. Right now, I'm not saying anything that disagrees with that. I'm saying that if you feel your value is lower than her, your body language and the way you talk, everything is going to reflect that. She's going to feel your lower value, and then you're going to believe it further. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. But if you act like this girl, I could get 10 girls like her anytime. As soon as you think that, or what I'll think, this might sound weird, but I'll think like, I want you when I approach a girl. I'm just thinking I want you, or like I'm assuming that she wants me too, and I'm just thinking about that desire. And then that channels in the way I act. And then I give her that laser eye contact. And then I approach her in a way where she feels that I'm dominant. That's another toxic masculine trait. And then she's automatically attracted. But what most guys do is they assume they're lower value than her. And then they instantly project themselves in a low value way and they get rejected.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Well, everything's sub-communication. It's the beliefs that you have, like, seed into your life. Well, here, let's actually move on to the next point, so that we don't go over on time on this.
We're going 5 hours.
Well, a part of being like understanding your value is also being content with single life. So a lot of you guys are chasing down a relationship. You guys will come to me and be like, all I want is a girlfriend or a wife. And a part of finding your top quality, high quality girl is like loving single life so much it would take a bad bitch to get you into a relationship. Like if you want to settle, like I mean hardcore settle, like go for that. But if you want to really like cash out with a high quality girl who has a lot of options and guys herself, you have to love the single life. You like if you're chasing these girls down, you're like, thank God a hot girl finally likes me, and then you're like, come on, date me. Well, now guess what she's gonna do? Now she's gonna find you unattractive and start fucking around with another guy.
The idea that you need a relationship, that's something that society gives us.
Yeah.
Again, that
you don't need it.
It benefits society for people to be coupling up and to be starting families and everything like that. So we're programmed to think that. But the more you believe that, the more likely you are to settle for a girl you don't like at all. I've seen so many guys that had potential, they were having success, and then they like locked down the third girl they slept with, who was not good for them at all, and their lives went downhill. The idea that you're chasing a relationship, that you've decided you already need that's going to complete you, that will make any relationship you have toxic automatically, because you're using it to fill a hole. I guess in more than one way, but you're using it to fill a hole in your soul, right? And you need it to be happy. And as soon as you think that, you're going to end up supplicating, getting needy, starting acting like weird, and then you're too attached and you don't even enjoy the relationship. But if you're able to enjoy your life without a relationship, you don't need it. It's just something that icing on the cake. It might be cool if you find a girl that you want a relationship with. Then when you end up meeting a girl that you genuinely should be in a relationship with, then you'll be open to that happening.
There's really honestly no point in getting a relationship other than like, so people say for the kids, but I've seen people get equally as fucked up inside a relationship with parents that are still together and also outside.
You can also fuck up your kids, right? If you
fuck them up either way.
You get in a relationship, the wrong relationship with someone who's toxic and the relationship's toxic, you're going to fuck the kids up. That's worse. Like you should sleep with 100, 500 women so you can find one that you actually get along with and you're not toxic, so that when you do have kids, they're actually going to be well adjusted. Rather, you end up with the third girl that you don't have good chemistry with because you had no options. You got desperate. You clinged on to her and you convinced yourself she's the perfect girl, even though she's actually a fucking succubus who's taking your soul out of your body. Not that I've ever seen this happen. If that is what you do, then you're going to end up messing up the kids you have anyway. So if your goal is children and kids, you need to run through a lot of hoes so you can find the one that will produce a good family.
Yeah.
You got to pimp it.
Won't cause any family woes.
Yeah. And I mean, toxic masculinity is also good for the family because I think you do need to have, someone has to have the leadership role.
Makes them feel protected.
If both parents are doing that in general, both parents are the decision maker and they're fighting about all these things, then there's no harmony.
Yeah. All right. Well, here, let's get on to the next point. So leadership. So being a leader is something that's not taught to young men. Being a leader is powerful. It's nice for us because there's a bunch of followers. It's easier than ever to be a leader. People nobody wants to like be in charge because it's a very terrifying position. There's also a lot more willpower to expend on making decisions instead of just taking a back seat to the decisions. But
we're also conditioned to be followers. I mean, school, right?
Yeah.
School teaches you to be quiet, to listen, to not. There's no assertiveness, no leadership, none of that. It teaches you the opposite.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. So if you're somebody who wants to get good with women, this toxic trait is actually honestly really good for you. Which this actually kind of coincides with dominance and being able to like just not being afraid to move things in a direction with fervor, I guess you could say. How would you describe dominance?
Fervor is a good word. Dominance and leadership, I mean, they're both very related. I think leadership is like part of being dominant. Because if you're dominant, you have to be a leader. You can't be like dominant and not lead.
It's also being disagreeable too, I guess you could say. Like,
yes, I disagree. Actually, I think it's more important. So dominance and leadership, like most of the times when I didn't get a girl or a girl lost attraction for me, because I've seen it happen. So you see the light go out of their eyes when they liked you, and then it slowly fades away. And you're like, fuck, what happened? Every time I reflect on it, what was it?
You not leading the interaction forward.
Not leading in it. Yeah, I was not leading. I was being a pussy, basically, or being a bitch, and like expecting her to lead it for me. I remember there was one time when I was 19 on a date with an attractive girl, and then she got on my bed and we started massaging each other. She even massaged my ass, massaged her ass, everything. And then I told myself, all right, if she kisses me, then she likes me, and then I'll make a move and try to have sex with her.
Yeah.
Didn't happen, right? Because I didn't have that internal leadership. And then after that, she pat me in the back. That wasn't what I was expecting. Never saw her again, right? Because I didn't lead. It's almost always, that's what kills. Now, you might think, oh, well, girls aren't attracted to me in the first place. Well, if you're not leading, you're not trying to lead, you're not trying to move things forward, you're not making things man to woman, it might be that they are attracted to you, but they're losing the attraction. Nothing happens because women want you to lead. And look, if we get into a magical society where all of a sudden women are approaching men just as much as men approach women, women right swipe as much as men and message guys in the DMs and make the first move, great. I won't have any issue with that personally. Yeah. But that's not going to happen anytime soon. So you have to take the lead. And yes, it's toxically masculine to do all that, but you're not going to get laid if you don't. So
yeah, which actually, again, takes us to the next point, perviness.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of also related to dominance. Perviness, being willing to let the girl know that you think she's hot,
that you have a penis, that you are a man to woman interaction, not just a friend to friend. Being able to to actually express sexual intent to somebody. Honestly, that's just being honest. I mean, like, all right, so I've noticed this too with guys who don't have a lot of testosterone, who have not gotten good at game, or have not gone out there yet. Virgins especially. You guys don't associate talking to a girl with sex. You guys are associating you and your privacy of your home and looking at your computer screen, and your brain is like, that's sex. You with your right hand, your left hand, depending on if you're left or righty. That's for you.
You're lucky both.
Yeah. So when you look at a girl and you talk to her, you're like, this isn't sex. And so you talk to her like with absolute like disinterest or no intent behind it. And yeah, I've noticed as guys will get better with game, their sex drive usually goes through the roof. They usually can like talk to a girl in a way where it's like I will fuck you if we're alone.
I think your brain just says there's a chance you're gonna get laid, right? Like, yeah, it's like I actually touched a woman. Oh my god, there's a chance, and then it like starts sending sending energy down there.
Girls get turned on when you actually can express this in the right way. I mean, don't be like the fucking like even those guys, the creepy.
We're not saying like Trump grab him right by the pussy.
No, but even all right. So that is a very high risk.
High jail time
type strategy, but I've seen girls like it, unfortunately. Where we've had clients in the past. Remember that one guy about like 2 years ago, we first started going out, when he would go out hard and he just be like, it's hello, and he just hug girls in the street. And some of the girls were really liking it. He left and he took off with like this really cute, skinny brunette girl for a while in front of the CVS. We even got infield of it. And then he came. Okay. It was like we thought he was a sociopath or something, or like
was.
Yeah, but he's just like this, hello, and he just hugs her. And then like we're like, ooh, I remember looking at him like, ooh, shit. And then we both start. Then we like this. We're like start looking, and the guy's and like, it works. And it started working. She's laughing, giggling all over him and shit. I'm like, God fucking damn it.
I mean, you don't have to take it to that extreme, because if you're doing things that can make people really uncomfortable, that's going to cause problems. But there's certainly most guys are playing it so safe that the girls, they don't know that you have male genitalia. They would be like, what? This is a man? I thought it was a they them. I thought it was a they zer be whatever. Well, I mean, very real gender. Sorry, CEO of YouTube. But that's what they're gonna think. And a lot of it is the way you can test this. Are you ever turned on when interacting with women? Do you ever actually feel turned on? Do you feel, tingly? Do you feel, other things that are, it's very clear. It's like, okay, I'm actually showing sexual intent because I can feel it. I can't put that into words on YouTube, but you can, use your mind. If that's never happening or very rarely happening, that means you're not being pervy enough, right? You should feel turned on when you see a hot girl and you see the shape of her body and you hear her voice and how feminine it is. You should be able to respond to all the things that you're attracted to in her femininity in a way that makes you start feeling aroused. And you should have no shame about that. There's nothing wrong with it. Now, obviously, if a girl shows disinterest, you pull back and you respect the rejection. Sure. But there's nothing wrong with doing that in the first place. And that is what will turn women on in the first place. That is what will turn women on, is being able to do that, is being able to look her in the eyes and project that energy of like, I want to bend you over, you know, I want to throw you in my bed and like put a hand, like that kind of shit.
Yeah.
That energy is what attracts women, and men are so afraid of that women are like, I don't think he could even get hard with me. He wouldn't even be able to do it. Why would I go home with this guy? He's just going to be limp the whole fucking time. That's what they feel like on a subconscious level. If you don't embrace your own perviness.
The big point of this is just be autonomous. Quit listening to everybody else. I know this is what the day of the internet. And so a lot of people, we get this, we're having groupthink like never before. And unfortunately, groupthink isn't on your side. It's not on the side of the straight men, unfortunately, as much as we'd like it to be. It's very much kind of, the cards are stacked against you. If you want to actually get good at this, though, you could put an intelligent effort and stop listening to dumb fucks. Stop listening to idiots who don't know what they're talking about. There's very few people right now currently on the internet that can actually give out good advice. And even some of those guys are just kind of blinded by their own doubt or fear of like the machine itself chewing them, eating them, and spitting them out, because everybody's against this actual advice, this hard-hitting real advice that's should be honestly helping out millions of people.
Well, it goes against the standard narrative, and we all have something called a confirmation bias, which means we like things that confirm what we already believe, and we feel uncomfortable, cognitive dissonance when we hear something that goes against it. That's different, right?
Yeah.
That's hard to want to accept, and so everything we're saying is going to create, it's going to create that cognitive dissonance that go against the confirmation bias. And if you're able to realize that, then you might listen to some of the things we're saying. But you can also just listen to Alpha M and buy his cologne, and then I'm sure women will start approaching you.
Yeah.
You're welcome to do that. But, we actually have receipts. We have infield. You've been posting makeouts on your channel, been posting new infield. I've got new pulls on infield. I'm going to be showing the girls I'm pulling, showing full interactions, taking girls home, showing makeouts. I'm going to be putting that all up on my channel. You can subscribe to, I'm sure there'll be a link below to do that, and make sure to be subscribed to his channel, because we're actually going a little bit beyond just selling you watches. Yes. I'm just going to hold the silence. The lights are starting to hurt my eyes.
How long till this gets awkward?
It already has.
We may or may not go out today. We're trying to feel that one out. I've been getting off of being sick, which is why I'm sitting so close to him, because I'm trying to take him out along with me.
Thank you for that.
So then both of our channels will suffer, not just mine by itself. But yeah, I guess.
And if you want to really master toxic masculinity, you can take our toxic masculinity boot camp. 3 day. It's not a special boot camp, but all our boot camps are toxic masculinity boot camps. Take a 3-day boot camp, get in-person coaching with us, so we can actually guide you through the process of being the toxically masculine man that women actually desire, that women are actually attracted to. And so that you can start getting some dates, starting getting laid, and, bringing us back to like the 1940s when men were men and women were women.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly that. Jesus Christ.
Click the link below to join our toxic masculinity bootcamp.
Yo, bitch, I got some